There's a funny little creature that likes to come into our peaceful neighborhood Facebook page. He comes in very politically charged, very aggressive, very rude, and also very wrong. These are the CMP Chronicles. It started innocently enough. Brian Lamond had posted yet another politically leaning trash post. I, of course, was quick to respond with, "Yes, more biased national political trash on the town page, just what I was hoping for." You could clearly hear the excitement in my voice, as I was excited to see more political trash on the community page. Michael was quick to respond with, "What is bias about it?" Michael has long since struggled with ED, and you'll notice the absence of ED here. I decided to respond without picking on that particular typo. It is written by John Pavlovitz, for starters. He is known for strong Christian liberal bias. If you read the article, you may also notice he only provides derivative, bad faith statements designed to stir up a passionate political base, i.e., this is an example of biased political trash. You'll notice that I gave a completely reasonable and complete answer here. The topic was political trash and bias. Political trash and bias were proven in a very simple and elegant response. Now, at this point in my dealings with Michael, I have developed a list of most of his bad habits. His interactions online are toxic and can be categorized by one of the 15 rules that he breaks. I call them the 15 CMPs. In addition to spelling and grammar, what he breaks most common is Rule 7. Michael presents with an inferiority complex. This will not allow him to change his mind or consider the reasonable view of another. Taking a look at Michael's next statement, you can see how we would shortly be going completely off the rails. He says, "I mean, if you take his statements and look into them, can you prove any of them to be untrue? I am all ears." The one thing that Michael Ciampi is never is all ears. Now, Michael is a bit of a pet project of mine. I'd like to see him become a reasonable human. And when he mentioned that his ears were open, I thought maybe he had turned a leaf, and I was in the process of congratulating him, even to let him know that I was proud that he may be considering someone else's opinion. That was a short-lived belief, as before I could post this message, Michael, in separate text boxes, responding to himself, quickly says, "I mean, it isn't a bias to take the facts of a person's life and use that to form an opinion-based article about something, ... Lowercase, I mean, unless you can prove what he says to be untrue in nature, because you don't like something does not make it wrong or biased, ... Lowercase t, the facts determine that, and I, lowercase, am willing to hear your proof of bias if you have them." Now, putting aside for a minute the absolute train wreck of grammar and punctuation, I believe Michael's point here is that I have not sufficiently proven bias. As we discussed earlier, bias had already been proven, so Michael here is simply looking to find an argument in bad faith that would make him look less bad. Now, Michael would fail at looking less bad as he replies to himself for now the third time without having anyone else respond, and he admits that although he won't lie, which is a lie, he admits to not even reading the article in question, essentially saying, "I don't need to read this article because my mind is already made up." You'll notice the Ciampi is constantly accusing me of spending my time with and on him, even though I have declared him to be not worth my time. There's an important distinction here, and that is, I have never said that he is not worth my time. I said that he is not worth talking to. And he's not worth talking to because no matter what evidence is provided to him, his mind will not be able to change. Therefore, no one will ever get any value from talking to Michael. However, trying to make Michael a better person is worth my time. Coming up in part 2 of episode 1 of the CMP Chronicles, we see Michael go entirely off the rails and have what can almost be described as a psychotic break, as his futile attempts to argue with strangers online yield the results that he is not looking for.